Welcome to Candid Conversations with the GrandCanions. I am your host, Coach Karen Canyon, simply Nat or Wookie, sitting alongside my fine, sexy, intelligent hubby. How you doing tonight, baby?
What do you want? I'm not bad. I'm not bad. You what did
My
you do?
birthday's coming up.
I'm acutely aware of that.
You asked me what I wanted. I was just
I did
answering.
ask you, and you didn't give me any answer, and you normally do. Last year, but you always get stuff.
Yeah, you know what? This year I don't want to say what I want. I want people to get. I'm always trying to, not trying to, but I always have to figure out what everybody's getting. What I have, everything that's done. I have to plan it out. I don't want to plan me. I don't want to do it. I don't. I'm not gonna do it.
You're looking at my. You see. Let me say this to y'all. Y'all don't know her. Birthdays are like a big deal, right? So every year I try to do something pretty big. So this year she says to me, she says that I got to be careful. She says to me, I don't want anything. I just, I'm just glad to be here. I don't want no, she said, I don't want no party.
Yeah, I didn't say I didn't want anything. I was going to say, I don't ever remember saying that.
She said, I don't want no party. Cause, everybody we was thinking about, having a big party. But I was like, okay, cool. And then she was like, leave it up to me, which I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. Problem is that when somebody say, like your mama say, well, I don't want nothing, but y'all going to get some, but you can get me something if you want.
Well, I said I wanted a sauna and you knocked that out.
That don't even make sense.
It makes sense to me because I like saunas.
Where are we going to put it?
In the backyard.
What? Listen to what she said. It's an indoor sauna.
No, there are a lot of people that have saunas outside.
That sauna was $5,000.
He asked me what I wanted. I mean, I didn't know it cost that much.
And
but
the one that they sent me was $5,000 because the one that our kids sent me. But then the problem with that is they got a little portable sauna that might last 3 weeks. I think that one was like a few hundred. But the ants gonna eat that up. Anyway, can we get on with the show?
Okay. Yeah, that was
all right. Say. Welcome, y'all. All right, listen. Last week's show was fire. We appreciate y'all tuning in, watching us as we grow.
A nice cake for my birthday.
You're gonna get you a nice cake.
Beautiful cake.
You're gonna get you. Do you want it to be good, tasting?
And beautiful.
But I don't know nobody that makes. See, you putting too many parameters. Okay, that's all right. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
All right. Last week's show was great.
Yeah.
This show is going to be even better.
Yes.
And it's sponsored by the Pocket Communication Coach. Coach! Hey, the Pocket Communication Coach is like having a communication coach in your pocket. And we're growing every single month.
Every month.
New subscriptions. Whenever you want to figure out how to say it, if your communication sucks, you're tired of arguing with people because your communication sucks because you've never been taught how to communicate. That's why I created it for you who listen.
And himself.
I couldn't communicate well either, but now
you do communicate.
I'm a pretty good communicator now.
Yeah, you are.
I mean,
when you're not being a jack donkey.
Dealing with an avoidant like you, it's difficult, but I've almost mastered it. An avoidant like you, that's how you know I'm a better communicator.
Do you know what that just did to you?
What did I do?
That put you in the same boat as the three little kittens that lost their mittens.
Kittens had mittens?
They put you in the same boat with the 3 little kittens that lost their mittens, and you shall have no pie.
All right, then. Well, your birthday coming up, too. Anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to move right along. What you got for me tonight?
I have a letter. I have a letter tonight.
Give it to me.
And so here it goes. Dear Coach, I am in a marriage of love and hate. I love my husband, but I just found out that he was unfaithful to me several years ago, and it hurts like it was yesterday. I don't want to leave my husband, but the pain is so deep. My question to you is, can a person really get over infidelity and still be in love at the same time? How do I still trust him, confide in him, like he really used to be my safe place, or make love to him? I married him for better or worse. We both want this to work. Coach, how do I keep the fire going while healing from the hurt?
Lot to unpack. First off, she's going through the stages of grief
Mm-hmm.
because, and so when you go through the stages of grief, you've lost something. A person may die, but 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 what happens? Psychologists say your brain goes through the same process when you lose a relationship.
Ooh.
And in this case, the relationship you lost, they may not have physically broken up, but the way it was is no longer.
Mm-hmm.
And because the relationship that exists today has been lost, she's going through the stages of grief. All right? That's the first part.
That's the first part.
First part is she got to go through that.
Mm.
And she got to go through. And what I would say is get somebody to help you, coach, therapist, somebody to help you go through that. Because she said, I don't want to leave my husband. Because she's got a lot of, whenever you're going through that, you know, when somebody, like when mama died, I had all those questions, but none of those questions would be able to be answered.
Mm-hmm.
Not in this lifetime. And I was asking God, like, why this and why that? And what happens is a lot of people say we need closure. Like, I need closure. Why?
Mm-hmm.
When I ask why, what they're saying is I need closure. Here's what they're really saying is I need to make sense of what happened to me.
Mm.
And so closure helps me make sense of it. But the truth is there are some things you will never make sense of. You'll never know the answer on this side. And so what I tell people, you need to strive for acceptance, not closure. Acceptance that here's where I am, and acceptance that I may not ever know why it happened.
Mm.
Acceptance that, you know what, my husband or my spouse is fallible. They made a mistake,
Mm-hmm.
a bad judgment. And so all of those things we have to get to acceptance. Acceptance that I'm hurting, that I'm going through the stages of grief. And once a person gets to that stage, then they can move forward. And I'm going to give you one piece of advice. And I think you're beating up right now.
I'm beating up.
Hot flash. Oh, I saw it coming.
Okay.
I saw it a mile away. I know them hot flashes.
But I want to know what the audience thinks. Audience, what advice would you give her? You know, would you tell her, or do you think that it can't be salvaged? Do you think that it is? You know, it is. Can you make it after infidelity?
Yes, you can. I've seen people do it. I've helped people do it. I'm on a show where people do it.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing, though, and that's what I was going to tell you before I saw the beads. The beads of water.
Beady beads.
Is that a person has to accept I can never go back to what we had. I can only build something new. So now listen, go ahead.
No, go.
Because what I was saying is a lot of people say, I want to just go back to where we were.
You can't.
You can't.
Once you
and
open
because
the
a
box,
lot of people
open.
think they keep trying to get back to where they were. Trying to get back to where they were. And what you have to do is accept that, okay, what can we build? Everything that happens from this point on will be me and you building something new. And some people no longer want to build something new with that person. And then some people decide, but the only way you can build something new is you got to decide how do we get here? It's called self-reflection with your partner, with you, hard conversations. Because people just don't end up in infidelity. It ain't right.
It's something.
It's not right. But there are things that led to that.
And it doesn't have to be the other person's fault.
Right.
Right?
Right. There are a number of reasons why, and we're not going to do it in this episode, but there are a number of reasons why people, commit infidelity, why they cheat.
So how for what advice would you give somebody? She really wants to stay in her marriage. She doesn't want to abandon it. She really loves her husband, but she is hurting. How how does she still, or can you, or do you have to heal first before you can, cuz you just said it. You can't go back to where you were. But how am I still intimate with, I had a friend whose wife uh stepped out on him, and he tried to be intimate with her again, but every time he said all he could think about was just another man with her. So how do you get past those inside voices? How do you dead those? Why are you looking at me like that?
No, because what I'm about to say
Okay.
is he may never get over it.
Mm.
Some people will never get over it. Some can. And you might say, well, what makes it? That is a mystery that I don't know. But there is a process for those who want to get over it.
Mm-hmm.
They have to go through that process. So let me put some science to it. I always add.
Yes.
Let me tell you why some people will never get over it. Here's why. Remember what I always say. The brain doesn't operate in words. It operates in pictures. Problem is, you know where I'm going. Every time I try to be with you, what comes in my mind? A picture of another man going deep in them gizzards. I gotta add a little levity to this. This is a heavy duty subject. You ain't there. Nah, but for real, can we have fun though? I just want to have fun. Ask the audience. Okay.
There's something wrong with this guy, man.
I just want to say what it is, the picture.
Mm-hmm.
The picture, and that picture keeps running through your mind. I want to be sensitive to this letter. And I made a joke because sometimes this is heavy.
But you made a joke, but that is still something real.
No, something real.
Like he could not get that picture,
and women too,
out of his head.
Exactly.
And so that is,
Because you what happens, there are two things that go on. Number one, there's a picture that's created, and this picture keeps popping in my mind. And what happens is, because you didn't see it, and it's worse than if you saw it, because you know what the picture looks like. If you didn't see it, you create the picture.
No, something that we did not talk about. It happened several years ago. This is not anything. Yeah, it said it in the letter. It happened several years ago, but she just found out about it.
Well, it happened yesterday when she found out.
Yeah, and then so that's what she said. She felt like it happened now.
Well, it happened now.
Yeah.
And I always say to people.
And so for him, or for that other person, they feel like, yeah, I messed up, but that was years ago. What would you say to that?
I would say it may have been years ago to you, but it's the clock starts ticking for that person today when they find out. Okay? Because they didn't know the years ago. They didn't have years to heal. They didn't have years to cycle through grief. They didn't have years to seek therapy or counseling, coach. They didn't have years. It's 1 or 2 days for them. So it's a fresh wound for them. Okay? It's a fresh wound. And so that's what it is. And I'll give you an example of this. Here's the thing. A person may have an illness in their body, but it's been there. It may have been there for a year or two. But by the time you feel it, you're like, whoa.
Right.
Does it mean that the illness was not there? No, it was already there doing damage. The thing about it, When you find out about it, when you find or the person finds out about it, that's when you are aware of the damage.
Mm. Wow.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right. And so that's what I would say. But the first thing I would tell her to do, you must, if you want to keep the relationship together, you must seek help. You must get therapy or coaching. You know why? Because you don't know how to navigate it.
Mm.
So this is new uncharted waters. And a lot of people who in those relationships try to navigate it themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And then the person who cheats, a lot of times say, I don't want to go to therapy. Can we just get over it? Worst thing to do. Worst thing to do.
But if you're gonna, why do you say that's the worst thing to do?
Because when you tell somebody to get over, if I had told you when your father passed, well, it's been a year, you need to just get over it. What would you have done? What would you have felt? What would you have felt?
We've been watching Roots. I probably would have kunta kinte'd you, cut your foot off.
So it would be unreasonable. It would be weird for me to say, all right, you got 3 months to get over this, the death of your father. Right?
So
it's the same thing.
But with infidelity, is there a period where, okay, let's just move on from here. Am I going to have to continue to pay for this forever?
That's when you decide that I may need to move on in another relationship. When you get to the point where we have to move on, I can't do this anymore, that's when both parties have to decide, or one party has to decide to say, I can't do this. Because it's more emotional torment than reconciliation. So but only the person can decide that.
So in this situation, Ken, who fixes it? Is it up to him to fix this because he was the one that stepped out? Is it up to her to fix? No, how do?
It's up to both of them. Both parties have to be willing to move forward and fix. One party cannot fix it. I don't care who it is. Either one. If the one party who committed the atrocity, and I call it an atrocity because it is an atrocity to the other person.
Right.
If they want to fix it, but the victim, it won't work. If the victim wants to fix it, but the perpetrator won't work. Both parties have to decide.
So you work with clients all the
Yes,
time.
I do.
And some of them have infidelity
Yes.
situations or issues. What would you say the percentage is of somebody getting past that and going on to have a healthy relationship? Not just be in a relationship, but a healthy one.
There was a study. I don't know the exact numbers, but there was a study. You'd be surprised how many people stay together after infidelity. It was like right at 60%. Wow.
That's a lot.
But you want to know why, though?
Why?
Because think about it. My life is tied to yours. We got to unravel our finances. We got kids. We got to unravel the kids. We got to unravel the friends. And some people got to unravel assets. Some people decide, and then they say, depending on
unravel your ass.
And then depending on where they are in their life, they're like, who else am I going to get at this age? So people make a lot of calculations. They make a lot of assessments whether they should stay or not. And so I can't tell a person, what matters to them, what's their priority, but they make those assessments. And that's the reason why a lot of people stay. But it's over 60, I think close to 60%. Wow. I'm gonna revisit though that, but I think that's the number.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Wow. That is I wouldn't have thought it was.
Hold on, let me I don't have my phone. Okay.
I don't have mine. I wouldn't have thought it would be that high.
Wow. Yeah.
I just wouldn't have thought it would be that high.
The number, yeah. People who commit infidelity, the number's up there. let me ask our producers to oh, I thought one of our producers was looking up the number, but don't worry about it. Just go on my number. Go on my number. Go on my number. All right. Go.
Audience, again, what are your thoughts on this? Man, I don't know. I think I would tell them to seek professional help. That's something I don't know if I could give advice on that, because I can't tell you what your heart feels.
No,
And
right.
so what would you tell them as a couple to do?
Well,
What would you advise them to do?
Okay, here we go. Okay, one of our producers just found. Let me put on my readers. Put on my reader. All right, I'm gonna give them back to you. Now listen to this. It says there was a survey that found that those who were married were more likely to wait to tell their partners. 47.9% waited for at least 6 months before
Confessing that
Oh,
they
they
had an
confessed that they
affair,
did. Yeah.
or that they knew about it.
Hold on. This says survey found that those who were married were more likely to wait to tell their partners confessed on telling themselves.
Oh, wow.
Divorce.
That's a big percentage.
That's a big
to telling
number.
yourself.
A Divorce magazine also conducted some research on the matter. The publication found that 60 to 75% of couples remain together after infidelity. Wow.
I would have lost money on that.
Yeah, I told you.
Yeah.
I mean, I told you. Yeah. Told you. Told you.
I told you. All right.
I mean, I like when people say I'm right.
Oh, you're so smart and intelligent.
Say it again.
That's so sexy to me.
Sapiosexual?
Turns me on. That's what that is.
Sapiosexual, yeah. When you like, you get turned on by, you get turned on by, you know what I'm saying? You get turned on by that, you know what I'm saying? All right. But that's what I would say. That is what I would say. And the reality is that infidelity is a tough thing. It really is. And so what I'm going to say to you is this right here. The reason, and just, let me just keep it a buck right now.
Mm-hmm.
What I see, what people go through, not the people, the victims of infidelity. I would never want to see you through that pain. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you were to let Mandingo, swing from a tree on you, then the podcast wouldn't come out for a while.
Oh, why?
I just figured, it'd be a lot going on. I just figured it'd be a lot going on. At that point, it'd be a lot going on.
We would.
It'd probably be a lot going on.
You wouldn't get the pocket communication coach and we work
probably
it out?
Probably wouldn't. It probably wouldn't get pocket communication. It'd be a lot going on, though. They'd be like influencer relationship coach. Damn, my mugshot would be like this. I can't, they be like, everybody when they do their mugshot, they're like this. I gotta look hard on the mugshot.
Have we done this one right here? I think so.
What did it say? No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Do this one.
Okay.
All right. First off, y'all, we got to add a little levity to it because, so in our game, we created a game called the Moment of Truth card game. We had our card game long before these fools out here. And
not no fools. The other, we've had these for a while. They're not fools.
The other fools out here, we had it before them. Now, that is, what she has is the regular version, the first version. And this is the sex version for you freaks out there.
For the what?
For you freaks.
So I'm going to read from the original, and it says, "Chia."
And order your combo pack. You're going to love these.
Yeah, the go in the Bio link.
Link tree.
Just description.
Link tree.
Gone in there. And
go into the
cop
bio.
You two. Go and copy both of them.
It's a combo pack.
Yeah.
Save money by buying a combo pack.
Go and get both of them and let them know Net sent you. And we usually sell, what is it? How much are they?
They normally $29.95 a piece.
But if you tell them that Net sent you, you gonna get both of them, what they gonna be?
$54.95.
That's what they is. Y'all let them know Net sent you. Hey, see how I mess around and give you that right there? And all you got to do is just in the comments put both of them. And we're going to get them to you. Okay. So you gave a spouse a kidney. A year later, they wanted to leave you saying they're not happy. You would, A, accept the request and wish them well. B, inquire why you ain't say that prior to getting that kidney. C, go on social media and talk shit about them. D, ask for your kidney back. What would you do, audience?
Honestly, though, Nat, I would let them move on down the road with the kidney.
Audience.
It ain't like I'm getting it back anyway. Because the thing said ask for it back.
Audience. You gave your spouse a kidney. A year later, they wanted to leave, saying they weren't happy. You would, A, accept their request and wish them well. B, inquire why they didn't say that prior to getting your kidney. C, go on social media and talk shit. D, my answer. Nigga, I need that kidney back. I'm going to need that kidney. Now, either you going to give me the kidney or you going to wake up in a tub of ice. Which one is it? Brother, I need my kidney. I'm going to need that.
It ain't like you can reattach it.
Run me. They attached it to you. You can't, listen, we going to go on the donors list. Somebody else going to get that kidney, bro.
Now, by that time, your kidney.
Oh, my kidney is going to be in a jar.
Extra sugar in it.
It's going to be in a jar.
Sugar coming through your kidney. Because the person you gave it to probably been eating honey bun. Your kidney done got extra years
run me that
of
kidney back. Run me that kidney back. I'm going to need my kidney by 5 o'clock.
I'm going to let them go and keep the kidney. You know why? Because God bless them. I did something for God. And the truth is, it's going to be it's going to cost me a lot to reconnect that thing. So you know what?
I don't care if they put the kidney in the trash can. Run me my damn kidney back. Let me get that back.
Can you cut this show?
Listen, we going on Judge Joe Brown. I need my kidney.
Joe ain't on TV no more.
I need my kidney.
Joe
is on TV.
No,
He's doing them commercials.
Oh, doing commercials.
Yeah, we going to Judge Joe Brown, nigga. I need my kidney.
Joe Brown done lost his damn mind.
Listen, leave Joe alone. Joe gonna help me get my kidney back. Y'all, thank you so much for joining us on yet another Thursday evening. Make sure you take time to do something for yourself. Fill your own cup before you fill others. We're the GrandCanions. And we are Rummy that kidney.
You heartless though. You gonna ask for your kidney back?
I need my kidney.
Wow.
Some people ask for their tires back. I need my
kidney. I wouldn't give you nothing.
Have a great week.
I wouldn't give you nothing. You just run around. You just be running around this joint with one. Be like they call you the one.
Let me tell you something. They will call me the one, but they will call you the none because you're going to be in a tub of ice till they get there for you.
The one.